Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Triple H famously kicked Randy Orton out of the Evolution faction in 2004. Jim Ross, a WWE commentator and talent relations executive at the time, recently explained why he had an issue with the story. At age 24, Orton defeated Chris Benoit at SummerSlam 2004 to become the youngest world champion in WWE history. The following night, the Viper retained the title against Benoit on Raw before being raised high on the shoulders of Evolution stablemate Batista. Triple H then gave Orton a thumbs up before signaling a thumbs down, at which point Evolution attacked the new champion. Ross reviewed SummerSlam 2004 with host Conrad Thompson on his Grilling JR podcast. Discussing the iconic thumbs down moment, the WWE Hall of Famer said Evolution's breakup felt rushed. "I wish we could have had something in between and not going right to Randy and Triple H," Ross stated. "Not that I didn't like the match. I just thought there was more green grass that we hadn't explored with those guys. We got there quick and I thought that was a mistake." 1 hour 32 minutes and 37 seconds to 1 hour 32 minutes and 57 seconds, the storyline led to a match a month later at Unforgiven 2004, where Triple H defeated Randy Orton to capture the World Heavyweight Championship. Why Randy Orton vs. Triple H was brought forward before Randy Orton's win over Chris Benoit. Triple H beat Eugene in a match that failed to gain the desired response from fans. Nick Dinsmore's Eugene persona was supposed to elicit sympathetic reactions due to the character having learning difficulties. However, the SummerSlam crowd booed Eugene throughout the match even though Triple H was the bad guy. While Jim Ross did not dislike the bout as much as some people, he understands why the Eugene persona divided opinion. "I didn't hate that match, and I know the traditionalists are not gonna like it because of the presence of Eugene. He was a gimmick, he was a gimmick. He was an attraction guy. He was a frigging gimmick. I had a lot of time for him. He was one of the stalwarts down in OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling Developmental System, Nick Dinsmore. He paid his dues. Very solid fundamentally, but the gimmick just never resonated with the masses," said Ross. 1 hour 9 minutes and 29 seconds to 1 hour 10 minutes and 3 seconds, Eugene's negative crowd reactions forced WWE to drastically alter the Unforgiven card. Triple H was originally supposed to continue feuding with Nick Dinsmore's character at the event, but those plans were nixed after SummerSlam. In the world of professional wrestling, few names carry as much weight as Triple H and Randy Orton. Both are legends in their own right, having carved out Hall of Fame-worthy careers with iconic matches, unforgettable moments, and championship reigns that are the stuff of WWE lore. However, as with any long-running saga, not every chapter is met with universal acclaim. In recent months, WWE has come under fire from fans and insiders alike for what many are calling a misstep in the ongoing storyline between Triple H and Randy Orton. One legend, in particular, has stepped forward to voice his concerns, claiming that WWE may have made a mistake that could have long-lasting implications for both superstars. The criticism comes from none other than Ric Flair, the 16-time world champion and one of the most respected voices in wrestling history. Known for his flamboyant personality and razor-sharp insight into the business, Flair has never been one to hold back his opinions. In a recent interview on a popular wrestling podcast, Flair didn't mince words when discussing the direction WWE has taken with the Triple H and Randy Orton storyline. "Look, I have all the respect in the world for Hunter and Randy," Flair began, his tone serious as he addressed the issue. "But what WWE is doing right now with them? It's not working, and I think everyone knows it. The fans are not connecting with this story the way they should be, and that's a problem." Flair pointed to several key moments in the storyline that he believes were mishandled, starting with the way WWE chose to reintroduce Randy Orton after his lengthy absence due to injury. Orton, who had been sidelined for nearly a year with a back injury, made his triumphant return on an episode of Raw, attacking Triple H during a heated segment. While the moment was meant to reignite their storied rivalry, Flair argues that it fell flat due to poor execution and lackluster build-up. When Randy came back, it should have been a monumental moment, Flair said. But the way they did it, it just didn't have the impact it needed. The fans were excited to see Randy, but the follow-up wasn't there. They didn't give the story enough time to breathe, and as a result, it felt rushed and unimportant. Flair also criticized the decision to position Triple H as the clear heel in the feud, a move that has puzzled many fans. Over the years, Triple H has played both the villain and the hero, but in recent times, he has largely been viewed as a respected veteran and authority figure. Turning him heel again, especially against a fan favorite like Orton, has led to a mixed reaction from the audience. Triple H is one of the best heels of all time, no doubt about it, Flair acknowledged. But there's a time and place for everything. Right now, fans don't want to boo Triple H, they respect him too much for that. WWE should have leaned into that respect and told a different story, one that showcased both guys as legends rather than trying to force this old dynamic. The old dynamic Flair refers to is the infamous rivalry between Triple H and Orton that dates back to the early 2000s. Back then, Triple H was the leader of Evolution, a faction that included a young Orton. Their relationship soured when Orton won the World Heavyweight Championship, leading to a bitter feud that saw Triple H turn on his protege. While that storyline was a major success at the time, Flair believes WWE is making a mistake by trying to replicate it in 2024. You can't just rehash an old feud and expect it to work the same way, Flair said. These guys have grown so much since then, both as performers and as characters. WWE needs to evolve the story with them, not just recycle the past. Flair's comments have sparked a heated debate among fans and analysts, with many agreeing that the current storyline between Triple H and Orton feels forced and out of touch. Some have even suggested that WWE should pivot the feud in a new direction, perhaps by introducing fresh faces or unexpected twists to keep the audience engaged. Despite the criticism, Flair remains hopeful that WWE can course-correct and deliver a satisfying conclusion to the storyline. He suggested that the company could benefit from taking a step back and reevaluating what the fans want to see from these two legends. "I'm not saying it's too late to fix this," Flair said. "But they need to listen to the fans. The audience is smarter than ever, they know when something isn't working. WWE has the talent and the creative minds to turn this around, but they have to be willing to take risks and try something new." As for what Flair would do if he were in charge of the storyline, the answer was simple: "I'd focus on the legacy of both guys. Play up the history, but don't get stuck in it. Show the respect they have for each other, even if they're on opposite sides. And most importantly, make it feel big, make it feel like this is the last chapter in their rivalry, not just another match." Whether WWE will heed Flair's advice remains to be seen. With SummerSlam just around the corner, the company is running out of time to make adjustments. But if there's one thing wrestling fans know, it's that anything can happen in WWE. And with two of the biggest names in the business involved, there's always the potential for something truly special. In the end, the Triple H and Randy Orton storyline may not be perfect, but it's far from over. And as Ric Flair himself would say, to be the man, you gotta beat the man. Whether WWE can rise to the occasion and deliver a storyline worthy of these two legends is a question that only time will answer. But for now, the wrestling world waits with bated breath, hoping that WWE can turn a potential misstep into a moment of magic.